young. Coming up on ATV News.
A man crashed his car and ran away from police. We'll tell you why they wanted him in the first place.
Last week we showed you unfinished graves and broken headstones of the Preston Cemetery. Why a former caretaker says the solution is low tech.
A Salt Lake man is in jail tonight, suspected of robbing 5 banks. We'll tell you what he was willing to kick through in order to get away from police.
The NFL draft is right around the corner. I'll show you which Utah State players made an impression on scouts during Pro Day.
In weather, I'll show you if another storm is on the horizon or if temperatures are on the rise.
All this and more on ATV News. Welcome to ATV News. I'm David Matthew Stewart.
And I'm Misty Inglet.
A thief is on the loose. The Logan Police Department wasn't able to catch him during a chase yesterday evening. The man initially observed traffic laws before speeding and running a red light. The police stopped the pursuit for safety reasons after the driver moved toward Main Street. Police say a minute later an accident was reported, and they arrived at the scene and saw a car had T-boned a Mercury Tracer wagon. The thieves, Monte Carlo, fired its airbags, and the man then continued fleeing on foot. Fortunately, no one was injured in the accident. The police set up a perimeter, but he was still able to get away. The police then continued the pursuit to a house after they found some information in the car.
They were chasing this guy in the white car, and apparently it was too dangerous, so they called off the chase, and then we stopped him.
I basically just all of a sudden saw the hatchback start spinning around in a circle, and it was obviously they had been hit because the light was turning red, so it was the other car's fault.
Police say they didn't find the man at the house because the address turned out to be incorrect.
Last week we showed you the mess at the Preston Cemetery, but it's looking a lot better now that maintenance crews have finished their cleanup. Graves that were unfinished and partially dug have all been filled in and covered. The piles of dirt and sod have been packed down or taken away, and headstones that were moved are back in place on the proper graves. A few broken headstones remain unfixed, but caretakers say replacements are on the way. Residents say they're glad to see it cleaned up, but say it should not have been messed with in the first place.
It's different than what it used to be, and I attribute that to the changing of times. But the reason they're having to move the headstones is so they can get in there with a backhoe to dig. When my dad dug them, you didn't have to get in there with a backhoe. Get as close as you can with a pickup truck and back it up along the side of the grave and shovel the dirt up into it.
Residents say they hope the cemetery board makes changes soon so that this doesn't happen again.
A serial bank robber is in jail after taking Salt Lake police on a wild chase that ended in a nearby grocery store. This is Michael Bacon, who is named the prime suspect in 5 separate bank robberies in the Salt Lake area. Bacon was spotted by a police officer who was in the area on unrelated business. Authorities say Bacon took off running down a hallway in a nearby clothing store when the officer cornered him. Police say Bacon then kicked a hole in the wall and crawled through to escape. Salt Lake PD finally caught up to Bacon inside a Harmon's grocery store where they were able to capture him after a brief struggle.
We have an internal website, if you will, where the officers look for wanted persons, and he saw the guy and recognized him. I just think it was great work.
Bacon is facing multiple charges, including a bank robbery, assaulting a police officer, and a drug possession. Police say he confessed to the robberies and the assault. Coming up, there's plenty of pools open over the summer, but where do you swim in the winter? And Al's Sporting Goods has moved again, but this time it's just down the street.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
If you drive buzzed, It could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. Out with the old, in with the new. After months of construction, Al's Sporting Goods has moved down the street. Just try not to get lost once you're inside. This putting green has made its way into Al's Sporting Goods. The new location expanded on everything that the old store had, and even threw in some new wrinkles. The store is now home to an expansive bike collection called the Cyclery that wasn't at their old location. The Cyclery offers some of the best bikes on the market. There's also a gun and archery range where customers can come and shoot their own guns or try out some of the guns they see in the store. Almost every department was expanded to double its size from the old store, including the basketball, golf, camping, fishing, and hunting departments. The store will continue adding new merchandise in the upcoming weeks.
We've just really quickly outgrew that building, and a golden opportunity came along for us to expand, and we did it right here on Bridgeland Square. We developed the whole shopping center here.
I'm a big shoe guy, so I like the selection of shoes already that I see. So that's really what I see improved.
It's considered the soft open for the store. The grand opening will be April 19th.
You use your smartphone to text, tweet, and Tinder, but if you could also use it to give clean water to kids, the United Nations Children's Fund, also known as UNICEF, is making that happen. Go to the website, put down your phone and walk away for 10 minutes, and that's all it takes to donate a day's worth of clean water to a child in need. According to UNICEF, 68 million people live without access to safe drinking water, and 400 million kids have their education disrupted because of unclean water. UNICEF says that you can help decrease that number. People around the world have already given up enough cell phone time to donate 4.5 years' worth of clean water. The water goes to more than 100 countries worldwide.
This will say a lot about us and how much we rely on our technology, because I feel like this is a very small thing to ask. Even something as simple as like do it while you're driving or when I think it should be easy for people to do.
I just think it's a really good idea because, one, we're able to do something better with our own time, and then with that little sacrifice, it's not even really a sacrifice of our phone, that we can help someone else. So
UNICEF adds up the time you don't use on your phone, and donors give money for water to be sent. To ditch your phone and donate water, go to uniceftabproject.org on your smartphone. Have you ever wanted to go swimming in the winter but couldn't find an indoor pool?
You might have that problem here in Cache
during
Valley.
the winter.
Our Tamara Bradley shows us more of why going swimming year-round isn't that easy.
Jumping in during the winter doesn't seem like a big deal, unless you can't find an indoor pool.
And then we'll do some more school groups.
Logan City Recreation Manager Dan Blakely said there used to be a public municipal pool in Cache Valley, but that was almost 10 years ago. When they asked the public,
The community voted on and passed a bond to build an outdoor pool. We have the Logan City Aquatic Center. It is open from Memorial Day to Labor Day.
but have the votes changed?
Now when you look at the surveys, people want an indoor pool.
Unfortunately, there's none close to Logan. The closest ones are in Skyview and Hiram.
The Hyper is open year-round, but not for the general public. USU students can get a few laps in, but only for about 5.5 hours a day.
Lap swimming hours are from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 5 to 7:30 p.m. on weekdays. Kobe said the reason for the strict schedule is to accommodate swim classes and the school schedules of the lifeguards, who are all college students. So should they open the Hyper Pool to the public?
I'd prefer it to be more for the students since it is on campus.
We get about 9,000 to 11,000 student user swipes per year just for lap swimming. So opening it up to the downtown people tends to create a lot more use back there when we already are overcrowded.
So is Logan City going to take the plunge and budget for a new pool?
We get a lot of requests for it, but whether or not there's one in the future, I really don't know.
For now, students can use the Hyper and hope for warmer weather. Tamara Bradley, ATV News.
Kobe said they're planning on adding pools to the new recreation center on campus, but that won't be until 2019.
Once you start it, it's hard to stop. That's true for many things, but what about for ink? Our Brandon Fonda is live to show us more. Brandon.
That's right, David. Well, they say that getting a tattoo can be addictive. So I went to some of the tattoo shops here in Logan to see what they think. Fair warning though, if you do not like needles, you might want to look away because you're about to see some right now. This is Natalie Wayman's 4th tattoo.
I'm definitely planning on more.
And for most who have at least one, they didn't stop there.
I've got chest, one side, both arms.
This will be my 4th.
All that ink leaves some saying that they can be addictive. Uncle Sam's Custom Tattoos owner Sam Laughlin agrees.
A lot of it has to do with, I think, with your endorphins. When you're getting done and your endorphins kick in, your blood sugar level drops, so it's almost like a euphoric high for a little bit.
Your brain kind of goes into this mode where it's shooting off that natural sort of painkiller, that natural sort of mood elevator to help kind of make up for maybe some of the fatigue.
But for Wayman, it's not about fatigue or pain endorphins.
I think it's just a display, like the art on your body, or like a feeling, but people can see it.
Whether it's the pain endorphins or just a way of expression that you like, one tattoo can grow into many. Laughlin said that out of all the people that come into his shop for their first tattoo, he said that about 80% of them are coming back for a second. Although Sailor Jim's electric tattoo owner James Zena agrees that many people continue to get tattoos once they've started, he says calling tattoos addictive brings a negative connotation.
I hate to imply that it's, possibly self-destructive or it's going to ruin your life.
He says some of the increased ink comes from increased acceptance of tattoos, especially here.
Maybe just Utah is catching up to the rest of the world. If there's any trend I'm seeing, it's like people getting big stuff to start with.
Uncle Sam's Custom Tattoo Shop just opened up last month, so if you really want to see if tattoos are addictive, you might want to head over there. Back to you, David.
Thanks, Brandon. Hey, so I saw you got some ink on your arm. Want to tell us about that?
I do have some ink. It's fading a little bit. The guys at the tattoo shop tried to get me to do some real tats, but I went for the fake ones. But you know what? I'm thinking about getting a 3rd tattoo in a couple weeks, so maybe they're actually addictive.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think I might actually go and get one too. So, thanks, Brandon.
Coming up after the break, ATV's Bradley Wells will have your Cache Valley weather forecast.
The current temperature is 40 degrees.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language. and spot a stroke fast.
So, that weather out there is pretty inconsistent right now.
Yeah, rain, snow, sun, what's going on with that? Is it going to get better?
Well, you know, Utah weather is pretty bipolar.
Take control.
You know, if we wait on, things will get better, but let's take a quick look outside to see how things are right now. As you can see, it's actually starting to get pretty bright out there. It looks like the weather has stopped. The grass is pretty green. All that water that we've been getting recently is going really good for us. But if we take a quick look at our national radar, we can see how the rest of the country is doing. If we first, over in the Midwest, things are not looking pretty good for them. They are getting hammered with rain right now. And there's a big storm moving into Illinois right here. And South Dakota also has one big storm over on the west coast of South Dakota. Also down in the Gulf of Mexico around Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. They're also getting some rain as well. On the west coast, we have California with a little bit of showers kind of scattered throughout the state. Not a lot to worry about though, just kind of things starting to come in. Utah itself, there's not a lot going on, but let's take a quick look inside at Utah, see how Utah's doing. And over here we have this Utah. The main area that's getting affected is Salt Lake area, a little bit up into Ogden, a little bit down in Provo. Not a lot really going on down there. If you look at Logan, where we're at right now, there's just a little blip right there, but not much going on in Logan. Let's take a quick look at our 7-day forecast. And in the 7-day forecast, we can take a look and we can see just how the weather's going to look for the next 7 days. Wednesday, today, we had that 30% chance of rain, got a little bit going. 46 high today, 27 low. Thursday's just a little partly cloudy. 51 high though, 28 low. Friday and Saturday and Sunday, there's a 30% chance of a mixture of rain and snow. Friday and Saturday are going to have a high of 51 on Friday with a low of 29. Saturday has a high of 49, a low of 30. And Sunday has a high of 52 and 31. And this is where things start looking better for us, as Monday has a high of 55, low of 30, partly cloudy, and Tuesday as well, it's getting up to 58, almost 60 degrees as the high with a low of 31. So the weather is starting to look good, but we'll see what happens after that. Utah weather's pretty sporadic. So weather's starting to look pretty good for people in Utah, but I'm not sure yet what's going to happen in the future.
Thanks so much.
Hopefully it gets better so tennis can actually go outside, because they actually had some matches planned for outside last week and they had to go inside. So yeah. Coming up, women's tennis was finally home after a month. I'll show you if they were able to smash their way to victory.
Thanks for calling the GED Pep Talk Center. Jerry Stiller speaking. Your level 7 in-your-face pep talk.
I can keep pushing. Believe me, I'm good at it.
Once you've got your GED diploma, you'll feel so good about yourself.
You tell him.
Mr. Trejo, can I transfer this guy to you? He needs something a little more
Persuasive.
Yes.
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
You wouldn't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
Welcome back. This is ATV Sports, and I need no introduction since I've done this so many times before. And many of you are probably waiting to see a new face. Well, no worries, that will happen next week. But as for this week, you're stuck with me. Yesterday, Utah State hosted their pro day for players trying to make the jump into the NFL. The Aggies had a total of 18 athletes showcasing their talents to the scouts, but 2 players took a major step to having their dream of playing at the next level come true. Cornerback Nevin Lawson stood out in yesterday's workout. He ran a blistering 4.340 in the 40-yard dash. After that, scouts put him through more speed and agility tests to measure his movement on the field. If that wasn't impressive enough, Lawson put on a show when scouts put his skills to the test. The corner excelled in every drill and never dropped any pass thrown his way. He's expected to be drafted in the 4th round of this year's draft, but his stock may have improved after this workout. Another standout was linebacker Jake Dowdy. He ran a 4.5 40, which is very good for a linebacker. Much like Lawson, he didn't miss a beat in the skills test. He did every drill to near perfection. Dowdy was projected to go undrafted, but things may change after his performance on Pro Day.
It's never perfect. You know, there's a little footwork, mistakes I wish I could have, fixed and kind of gone back on. But, it's up to the scouts now, and hopefully they like what they saw.
It was fun, man. I mean, I competed with these boys for a long time, and this is our last time performing together. So this was a great experience, and I love that we all went out together with a bang.
Lawson and Dowdy were great, but other USU players also did well, especially in the 40-yard dash. Halfway through the test, scouts literally re-measured the field to make sure the players were actually running the 40 yards because their times were just so fast. Let's bounce over to the hardcourt where the USU women's tennis team finally had some home matches after being on the road for over a month. And after beating Montana State 5-2, the Aggies looked to stay hot as they hosted the Air Force Falcons and the New Mexico Lobos in their first 2 home conference matches of the season. The Aggies were looking to ground the Falcons after taking the doubles point, but Air Force had other plans. The Falcons used consistency to force USU into a number of turnovers, and they just corralled the Aggies, winning 5-2. Mackenzie Davis was the only Aggie to get a singles win, as no one else was able to do anything against the Falcons.
A huge challenge. They're young like us, but they're very talented. So I think that with New Mexico, it gives us another opportunity to kind of play a really good team, see if we can improve upon our lack of consistency today, and we kind of got caught up in the moment. So I think it just gives us another learning moment.
The Aggies returned to the court 2 days later as they looked to rebound against the Lobos. Mackenzie Davis again showed why she is the #1 for USU as she beat her opponent in straight sets. The match was a close one as 3 singles matches went into full sets, but USU couldn't get their shots to fall as New Mexico won all 3, smashing the Aggies 6-1. USU falls to 0-4 in conference play, but will look to get back on the winning track in their final 2 home matches of the season, this weekend when they host Montana and Northern Arizona. Final Four weekend is upon us, and it has been a tournament of upsets and Cinderellas as double-digit seeds have closed the gap. I actually brought in my bracket, and green is good, pink is not so good. And if yours looks anything like this, you probably pulled out your hair these last couple weeks just like I did. So let's just take a look at the results from the Elite Eight. 8th seed Kentucky had played in 2 of the most exciting games of the tournament, and that continued against Louisville as the Wildcats upset the Cardinals 74-69. Connecticut continued their magical run in this tournament, beating championship favorite Michigan State. The Swords of the Spartans were no match for the Fangs of the Huskies as UConn won 60-54. The clock finally struck midnight for Cinderella as the Dayton Flyers proved their foot didn't fit the glass slipper, losing to overall #1 seed Florida 62-52. The only 1-2 matchup of the Elite Eight proved to be the closest of the 4 as Wisconsin escaped a shot at the buzzer by Arizona to punch their ticket to Arlington 64-63. All right, guys, the Final Four is set. I know you have been kind of paying attention because you have Wisconsin.
I do. My chances are looking pretty good now, right?
How about you, David?
I don't follow the sport so much.
You know what? That's a good thing. It kind of consumes you a little bit after a while. It's not good.
Thanks so much, Jason.
Hey, no problem.
All right, when we come back, Baby Animal Days are back again. We'll show you all the fuzzy animals you can meet this weekend.
And see why the Easter Bunny has been hiding at the zoo, and how you can come pet a Kinkajou too.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education.
Right up here.
So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour
Lights there, darts there.
to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this?
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
Welcome back. Some small furry faces are coming to Cache Valley this weekend. The American West Heritage Center was at the South Logan Walmart and Sam's Club last Saturday. They were previewing the animals they'll have during their annual Baby Animal Days. The event will be held April 3rd through the 5th and is for all ages. Those who attend will be able to pet and hold the animals. And the event isn't just for looking at and holding cute baby animals.
It's an educational thing. We like to have families and especially people that aren't around animals be able to come out and learn more about the animals, learn about the importance of animals.
If you want to put your hands kind of down low.
Volunteers showed the proper way to hold the ducklings and chicks. They also talked about what the animals eat. These animals are just a sneak peek to what Baby Animal Days will have this weekend.
If you're one of the many students who are single and buried under school debt, finding money for food can be hard. Our Jenna Lynn went to the Student Nutrition Access Center, or SNAC, here on campus to show you some answers to your food problems.
SNAC is the student food pantry. We service any Aggie that's in need.
SNAC is the only pantry in Logan that caters to students.
The community food pantry, they can't service students or single students without kids. And that's why we're here, to help those students in need.
But not many students take advantage of this.
We have maybe 5 or 6 people a week coming in, I would say, maybe more, maybe less, depending on the week.
I think that more people should know about it and that more people should be aware of it and take advantage of it because it's a really good program.
With your student ID, you can come in and fill an entire bag with groceries.
So you get 1 bag each week, 1 bag of food, and we'll double bag it so that it will hold all the stuff. And you can just pick from anything and fill up the bag. It's really easy though, like a ton of people can apply if you just come.
And there are all sorts of foods to choose from, fruits and vegetables, or even chili. And starting this year, USU Dining Services has paired up with SNAC to provide perishable food items and bread. But how does the rest of the food get here?
It's all donations. We'll have lots of walk-in donations like we did today.
Lots of people donate entire boxes of food for the volunteers to sort and count. But there are little ways you could help as well. And you may have already done so without knowing.
We do food drives during the school year. We'll put on programs and the big USU events where you can bring like a can of food to get a discount to get in, or that's where all this food goes.
Jenna Lynn, ATV News.
The SNAC Food Pantry is in TSC room 333 and they're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
This weekend, the Willow Park Zoo held an Easter extravaganza to raise money for the zoo and to show off its newest furry little member. Kids of all ages filled the park Saturday for the zoo's Easter activities. There were egg scrambles, sailboat races, and sack races. Kids also had the chance to meet the Easter Bunny and get their picture taken with him. The zoo also had their newest addition on display, the kinkajou. A kinkajou is a mammal typically found in the rainforest. It looks like a monkey, but is actually similar to raccoons. The zoo hoped this event would help them raise enough money to bring in more new animals, like the kinkajou.
Our goal is to raise, we're about halfway there, we need to raise about $8,000 to purchase some golden handed tamarins.
Besides the tamarins, the zoo is hoping to buy sheep, goats, or calves that they could use for a petting zoo. If you'd like to learn more about the zoo and when to visit, you can call the zoo at 435-750-9894.
Thanks for watching this edition of ATV News.
Be sure to join us next time. Have a great week, Cache Valley.